welcome to another exciting show. And we're so overcome with excitement, aren't we, Deb? We had to sort of have the old fan on us, and we know. But we got Deb von Yorkshire. I've got that correct this week. Yorkshire. As myself, Eric von Essex, or Chris to me mates.
Yeah.
And first of all, I'm now talking to a film star. Are they queuing up outside your door? Have you been recognised yet? Walking down the road.
I've got cramp from signing all the autographs.
Well, I know what it's like being in. I mean, myself as an international superstar, it is very difficult.
It is, yeah.
I mean, getting all these groupies off me and all that, you know.
I should have got tips off you.
It's like the old Tommy Hooper joke. I keep dreaming of all these naked ladies running towards me, and I'm pushing them away. The doctor says, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "Break my arms."
I like
that. Right, we're going to be talking about umming as opposed to umming, which is not the spell of domestos down your lavatory. That's an umming, isn't it?
It
is. So, first of all, we got some tinkly music because we got someone that's Tom and Dick, you see. I'm just looking for my tinkly music. Here it is. And this is John, who's got psoriasis, if he's tuning in tonight. And he's had it for years. And between you and I, poor sod, when he nods his head, it's like a snow shower. It's a bit like one of those things you turn over and you got all the
snow globe.
Yes. And I had problems with my scalp. And as you see, I've got a marvellous head of hair now. It's
superb.
I know, it's the worst advert ever. But I used to have a big red splodge just here, which was eczema.
It's nerves.
And it's nerves, that's right. Whenever I had a stressful moment at work, people say, "Hang on, his red blobs." Yeah, he's stressed out. Yeah, here he goes. Calm down.
Like a marker.
But I go what is called the no poo idea, and I don't use hair shampoo. Got much left on it. I don't use hair shampoo like that on the scalp. I use honey, chamomile, and bicarbonate of soda.
Right.
And I go all that, I see. Leave it there for a couple of minutes, and then I use 1 part apple cider vinegar, 3 parts rainwater.
Yes.
And make sure the chemtrails are really nice, so it's spraying right the way down the old rain beforehand.
Yeah.
It makes you glow a bit, you know, and you go, rub that, you spray that on your hair. That's right. Then it's about a minute or two. Then you wash it off, and your hair will be nice and soft. And it's nice for your scalp as well. But okay, this is the worst advert you could ever. We had a full head of hair last week. But so we got the tinkly music for poor old John, and I've actually made a concoction up for him because we're all pissed off with his dandruff. So there we go. So
tinkly music.
That's right. He's taking time. That's it, John of Waltham Abbey, not John of Yorkshire.
Right. John of Waltham Abbey.
Waltham Abbey, here we are. That's lovely, isn't it? So, wish it better, John. You know, he's tried everything. He gets very depressed when he's got problems with his ears as well. But it's not John Hamer, who we'll hopefully have back soon.
Yeah.
And we might have a guest next week.
We might.
Who's also an international.
Once I've had a little whisper in somebody's ear.
Yes. Who's also an international television star.
Yes.
Called of Codes of the Unknown.
I'm sure he'll come on. Oh, yes, Codes of the Unknown.
Yeah, so do you want a quick advert for the old
Codes
of the Unknown? Here we go.
Wherever I put it.
Where I was the guest host last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Week before.
Week before. So there we go.
There we go. I've got it. Are we ready?
Codes of the Unknown. So that's it. So hopefully, if we can bribe him enough money. I mean, how many footbobs do we have to give him to come on?
I think he'd do it for £5. It's quite cheap.
That's not bad, is it?
It's a bargain.
And I was a good boy on your show. I didn't say tit bum or anything like that. So I was
Well
very
done.
polite. That's
Better
good,
than me.
Yes. So, so who we got? Bloody Nora. We certainly got a lot in chat tonight.
We
Was it
have.
international superstar?
Yes.
This is an interesting one for Louise. Hi everyone. I'll catch up later. Okay. Can't record. Been that option ages ago.
Yes.
Yes. Oh well, that's it. So we got Mike. We got Ancient Ruby.
We have.
Sue Co. Hello, Sue Co.
Hello, Sir Carl.
We got a new person, Was it Levitius?
Leviticus, shove it.
Leviticus Shabbat. Right now, What we're going to do tonight, we're going to talk about the which is the most misunderstood. It's not necessarily a chant; it's a sound that goes out, and I've got to do a lot of notes on this. That has been corrupted through the ages. It's been used by the New Age, and the New Age, as I said many weeks before, but I'm going to go into a different area tonight, is basically controlled opposition.
Right.
You know, the Low Crutch Trouser Brigade, and and all this peace and love. Very nice, providing it's not controlled. And we'll be going a little bit later. But first of all, people are probably thinking, what is Om? Well, some people chant and make little songs and that, but in its purest form, I'm going to read a little extract here, okay?
Yes.
And this extract is what I've sort of found out. It says, Om is a foundation of Hinduism where it is considered the very first sound of the universe. But it does have links to Buddhism, Jainism, but I thought it was mainly Buddhism. And I actually go down the Tibetan Buddhism route, not the Hinduism, because it says here, for a simple looking symbol, Om packs in a whole lot of meaning. With roots in, say, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, the Om can be seen and heard in spiritual spaces around the world. But what does it mean and how do we use it? Now, it resonates at, 432 hertz.
Right.
Which is the sort of the megahertz of the universe.
Yeah.
So when said aloud, it's really AUM, not Om. It's Om. Yeah. And actually the sound is like a 3-part word. Now it says here, the A represents creation. Yes, I agree with that. U is manifestation and M is destruction. Well, in Tibetan Buddhism, it is death.
Right.
So you take a pause between the M and which is really the A or Om. And the way I used to be able to do it quite easy, I can't do it now because you've got to hit that note just right. And it's right down the back of the throat. Om. Yeah. Now, you notice I went off the note there. Yeah. I could go on that note for about 20 seconds.
Right.
But I can't do it now. It's like, and it's not, and it's that, and you gradually get, and you do start to relax down because you're actually vibrating on a level, and it's best to sort of meditate first thing in the morning and last thing before you go to bed. I found that works very well, and it kind of calms you down, and you can actually get these. It's not really a chant; it's the same sound all the way through. So,
that level of pitch.
You know, I'm going off and I'm going up and down. I've not got it right. Yeah. So you've got to keep it the same. And you hear these professionals that are doing it. I could do it about 15 years ago. I can't do it now. Just I'm out of practice. Yeah. But you resonate with the universe. It's a universal sound. That, and I keep forgetting the frequency. Was it 432 hertz? Now, what's happened is you've got these 3 religions, Hindu, Buddhism, Jainism, and a few others that are coming on it, because a lot of religions are really like a Woolworths pick and mix.
Yeah.
Where you say, well, I'll have a bit of that, sounds all right. And I'll have a bit of that, you know. I mean, I'm going to have a new religion, you know, not sort of
a bit of that. And a bit of that.
Bit of the other.
Yeah.
You never know, see? So there we go. So you get these sort of three things resonating. But the chanting, this yeah, that's all very nice. That's a bit New Age.
Yeah.
It's not really Tibetan Buddhism. Some do, but you just keep this same resonant sound all the time. Tattoos and bling, that's not really, that's a bit sort of New Age.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go into, we're going to have a little break. Now, I can't really say much about the Om because there's not that much. I mean, there's a heck of a lot of writing about it. And if you want to know more, just basically look it up. But it says here, the sign, which was actually put on the, which is, what do you call it? The intro of this show,
Yes.
if you look at it,
Symbol.
the lower curve represents the conscious state of being. The top left curve is the unconscious state. The lower right curve is the dream state, the state between the waking and the unconscious. The semicircle at the top is the Maya state. Maya means illusion, the biggest obstacle to spirit development, explains Kumar. The dot at the top represents the absolute state. It's the highest state of consciousness, the ultimate state of spiritual bliss when you can just be. So that's really what the sign says. And it's sort of, it is very, very relaxing. So if you're stressed out, which I normally am,
Yeah.
it just calms you down. And I found, now everyone's different. Some people are a bit new age. I don't criticize that. That's, if it suits them, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It just pisses me off when they try and ram it down your throat.
Yeah.
And it's like these gong things, what they call it, what you resonate.
Tibetan singing bowl.
That's right. Now, when you go to these spheres, it's genuine and that, and you look at it, and you can always tell if there's a point in the middle, because that was done on the machine.
Yeah.
So it's not as powerful. This is genuine. I think this, and they charge a small fortune for it. But to get a genuine one, you very rarely find them at these, shall we say, spirit expos and things like that.
Yeah.
You've got to really find the real one. And you want one that's big enough to put on your head. Yes, I'm not joking. You put it on your head, and then you go, and it resonates the sound. A bit like the Royal Wraith machine, the bloke who found a cure for something CANCER.
Yes.
I can't say it. Allegedly, no. You mustn't say cure. You've got to say put it in remission. That's it. And he was doing well, and he had all his equipment smashed up, and he died in sort of obscurity. So
poverty.
That's right. So they really did a hatchet job on him. So this is to do with, was it frequency, as I was saying the other way, energy and vibration.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got anything else to say about the bombing and how bad I am at it, that is one of the worst. It's blatant useless, isn't it? I go to, I could bullshit everybody. So I've been to a Buddhist temple and
retreat.
Bullshit. Now, ask for your intercostal chakras to come online. Instant bliss.
I've tried that.
Louise? Yes. Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it. I'd like to try that.
Yes. So that's intercostal chakras. Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Thanks for that, Deb. And we could have a little bit more in chat because I'm going to go on to the next part, which is how the New Age movement has been infiltrated in a way that you would never, ever dream of. So we'll have a quick look in chat. We'll have a little break whilst looking in chat, shall we?
Yes.
And let's have a look. Everybody's saying hello to each other, not saying
yeah. There's this one from Sean.
Yeah.
Buddha taught the opposite of mysticism, ironically. Controversial. Naughty Buddha.
Right. Yes. Was it Fuchsia say?
Yeah.
Woman that
Consider.
cooks potatoes and peas in same pot, very unhygienic.
Yes.
Chakras between the
Yeah.
7
Normal.
normal.
Right. Intercostal. Yeah. That's
Yes, the
between.
old.
Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. That's right. But no, I actually, between you and I'm not being sarcastic, but I sometimes like to go to these what do they call it, New Age spirit festivals for bleeding good laugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't be like that. But
Oh.
yeah, no, the other one is see this pencil. It was presented. It was given by the Dalai Lama himself, and it's only £100.
Yeah. I've
But
got
I
a
give
box
it
of
to
20
you.
of them under the
Yeah,
table.
it has been blessed personally. So if anybody wants it, 6,000 quid, and it's yours.
Yeah.
All right.
You can have it. Honestly.
Now, where are we?
So,
The New Age cult must be destroyed. It is pure evil. I agree with you, Sean. Absolutely agree with you. That's fantastic. Right, right. I'm going to have a little glug. Excuse me.
have a little slurp. Wet your whistle.
It's very dry. Now,
Yes.
civilization. My board here, like this.
He's got his chart again.
Got my chart. See, and remember this is actually I think this clipboard. It should
1970s.
be. I think it is 19. I don't know when it is, but it was given to me, so I don't know how old it is.
Ooh.
And it must be what
Antique.
70s, 80s. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the council would condemn it as a public health problem. This is, you name it. It smells all right. I think it's been. I think it's all right. Right.
Yeah.
Now, animals, most animals, and most reptiles will mate regardless if it's male reptile, female reptile, mate,
Family.
bugger off. Okay, monkeys do it.
Yeah.
Dogs do it, and
Yeah.
even if a doggy is all nice and friendly all around you and all that, male dogs are bisexual. And did you know that?
Yes.
And
Actually.
they also like my leg as well.
Yeah.
My
Which
leg
is
has
also
been
bisexual.
raped. My leg's had to go to counselling. It's been raped so many times. But so how could I help you? Well, it's not me. It's my leg. It's in shock.
You have to be quite dog friendly.
It's been raped. So anyway, that reminds me that no, I can't crack that joke. It's too filthy.
Yeah.
About the elderly couple that go to a counsellor. No, I'll mention it later if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
You see. Yeah, it's only for adults, so.
Yeah.
So anyway,
not safe for children.
that's right. Now we look at ancient times.
Yeah.
And our perception of love and things like that in caveman times wasn't very high. Now, when you look around tribes around the earth, around the world, the most primitive tribes you could wish to find, and there are lots in Papua New Guinea, some in Africa and that, less so in the Amazon and less so in the Solomon Islands. They're quite advanced there. They will not have marriage rituals or anything like that.
Yeah.
They have a society where, sort of women are just there as birth providers and the men go around and the children don't know where their father is and the mothers bring them up and that's it basically.
Yeah.
But the more a tribal society becomes cultured, the more love comes into it, the more caring comes into it. And you will always find in every culture there is the reptile type of person, sort of female or male or whatever. They are generally about 2%, 3%, very low.
Yeah.
But then you get the higher percentage of people that like to be sort of, shall we say, there's an inner meaning. There's an emotion to being with a mate. There's more to it.
Yes. A connection.
So they want to share things like that. And the more advanced the culture is, the more you will find this. And there is, for examples in the Solomon Islands, where these people meet their pineal glands,
Yeah.
you see couples walk around hand in hand, and
Mm.
they hug each other, and they're quite advanced.
Yeah.
And there's ones in the Amazon tribes. They're quite advanced. The Zoe tribe, for example, they're very advanced. They feel love. They've got tenderness, and not only the men go hunting, the women go with them
Yeah.
and collect the berries and carry their game back. And they're
Yeah.
very they're very, and
Connected.
they're the happiest.
Yeah.
The ones that don't have that are the unhappiest,
Yeah.
strangely enough.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Now, what's happened? If you look at photographs of, say, I'll give you an example. The Paris exhibition of the
Yeah.
was it 1890s?
Something
You will
like
see pictures of men standing next to women and children.
Yeah.
Now you look around and you'll see that, and you see these beautiful buildings, Art Nouveau, all very cultured. The whole thing is a kind of showing how highly cultured and
Yeah.
practical the society is.
Yeah.
You look at modern photographs of anywhere, how many times do you see that with couples?
You don't very often.
Now, those in power, the psychopaths, not all psychopaths, but the people that, shall we say, are like the reptiles and the lower sort of, you do get animals, actually. I think it's pelicans, they make live alive, don't they?
Yeah. Swans do.
Swans. I'm not sure about crows. Somebody said they did.
Yeah.
Some said they don't. But they have family units.
Yeah.
And there's lots of animals that there's one animal, I think, that if one of them dies, the other one dies out of sorrow.
Yeah.
I can't think what it
That
is.
rings a bell. I know that elephants grieve for like
Yeah.
a member of the family that's died.
And they actually they have like a funeral thing, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
They're very sort of, they are developed in that way.
Yes. Yeah.
But when you look at what rules over us, for example, the man that said, "I did not have sex with that woman." Oh, sorry, you got to stare like this. "I did
Yeah.
not have sex with that woman."
Yes.
Like that. Yes. I think he came from Staines, didn't he? No, she did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, she came. Now, they will have sex for an instant pleasure, and it could be with anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because they don't have the developed emotions. Now, with this chart here, we've got sort of like a line going across like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And our emotions sort of developed upwards like this, you see. So if you go back to there, for example, you've got like the very, very primitive types. And then as we came along, we got to about the 1890s, about there, people became very, okay, there's always a percentage that don't,
Yeah.
became very, very emotional. And they, when I say emotional, they developed more sensitivity to the other person.
Yeah.
Now, the caveman type, that type, do not have sensitivity for their mate, because they go, yeah, they're sort of, "Hello, darling,"
Yeah.
Now, that, some people, it's evolved where we have emotions for the mate, but some people, and they're not necessarily psychopaths,
No.
it hasn't, that emotion has not evolved at all.
Mm.
It's just stayed along. And I've got an extract from a book, because this was in the 1990s. I was working in an office, and there was two blokes working with me. One bloke, his wife was from, where was it, Singapore,
Right.
and the other one, his wife was from Poland. So, and we were talking about relationships and things like that. And Andy, whatever his name, Andy, he said, "Well, if we're looking for a soulmate," he said, "don't stay around this country, you won't find one." He said, "Go to the Far East." What? He said, "Go to Eastern Europe or Far East." And the other bloke piped up. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I go to Poland." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But," I said, "it's a different culture." He said, "Well, no, she's European." I said, but I said to Andy, I said, "Well, where'd you go with a different culture?" "No," he said, "speak English." Yeah, but mean, he was 50 and his wife was 25. Need I say any more?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he's that. No, I can't put it into words, but it's that smart. It's nothing to do with a love connection or anything. That's just purely love for a better life. To
Passport.
me, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, green
But they
card.
seem to be devoted. So, yeah. Now, anyway,
Yeah, but you'll
I
do
find,
anything if you're getting provided for, won't you?
well, that's right. Now, he lent me a book. Andy lent me this book, you see. And I mean, he seemed quite a happy bloke, you know. He had two sons.
Yeah,
And he said, if you get to 50, he said, don't have children. He said, because you get bloody intolerant.
yeah.
Anyway, this is the book, and it was called From Civilization to Savagery by Peter Newbold.
Right, I've
Okay,
heard of him.
Peter Newbold, and it was printed in 1967. See? So he said, read this. He said, I think you'll find it interesting. And I did find I read it over the weekend. And then
Right.
when I went in on the Monday, I photocopied a few pages out of it. And I thought this is why this program started, because I was throwing out a load of books recently because I keep collecting loads of books and they're years old. I blew the
Yeah.
dust on it. Sod it. No one's going to buy this on Amazon, so I got shot of them, you
Right.
know. And Andy Pandy and
Yeah.
my colouring books, you know. And this piece of paper fell out. The photocopy fell out. So this is what I'm going to read to you now. Now, this chap was years ahead of his time, because the point I'm getting at is that the powers that be have deliberately stifled our emotions so that we go back to a caveman type. There'll be no families and things like that. Now, this is what this chap, and this is the photocopy. I'm reading it from the photocopy. Now, it said, this is by Peter Newbold. We are breeding a generation where the family will be a thing of the past. Love, romance, devotion to your wife or husband will be looked upon as outdated and quaint. Instead, people will remain single throughout their lives and have a series of ongoing partners that furnishes their desires. Sex will be loveless and recreational. Men and women will have a series of sex partners to fulfill their lustful desires, nothing else. Similar to what we was talking about before we came on air.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's, yes. I should have actually read it out to you before we came on air, but anyway, I thought it's
Sure, never mind.
yes. Nobody will want responsibility
Yeah.
and will live purely for themselves. Children will not be wanted, and if one is born accidentally, will be brought up by the state. Interesting.
Yeah.
Motherhood will be an unnecessary burden, as everyone will be loveless. And it says here, what was it? What is now considered promiscuous behaviour will become perfectly normal in the new world. And those with, and this again what we was talking about, those with morality and fortitude will be looked down upon, and derided by society.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is, as I say, it's From Civilization to Savagery, Peter Newbold, 1967.
Bloody hell.
Now, that is because I've just had I won't go into it, but I've had a recent experience which has shocked me,
Yeah.
which I found out about somebody, and it's sort of, huh? That ties in perfectly with what Peter Newbold was saying in 1967.
It's a long time ago.
That is a long time ago, and
Mm.
people were shocked by it then, but it was an
Yeah.
underground book. Now,
Right.
you can't buy it now. And I gave it back to Andy, not the Andy we're going to have on the show. This is another
No.
Andy.
Yeah.
And that's why I took a few photocopies, because it was such a powerful book. And this fella predicted exactly what is happening now, and it's all being engineered. Now, if you go back a bit further, there's a chap called, where is he now? Kinsey.
Yes.
Now, Kinsey, he died in 1956. He was born in the 1890s. Was basically a sex maniac.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And what he did, he went round and he skewered the answers. So they got things back that made it look as if most of the population is having a relation with their dogs.
Yeah.
And majority of the population were homosexual or bisexual. And this is still being used today by these think tanks and institutions like the Tavistock Centre.
Yeah.
And Kingsley was just one more in this chain of dumbing the senses down. Now, when you look at the hippie movement, Free Love and Sex, remember that book was written in 1967, the height of the 60s. Height of the 60s. And what this bloke was basically saying was that, you know, that the New Age movement was started in sort of 1920.
Yeah.
And that's right, V. McKinnon. Kinsey was a paedophile. Yeah. Kinsey was a very unpleasant man. I agree with you. He was mental. He was actually mental. He actually took films of his students having sex in his house.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's science. He was caught going through an airport lounge with loads and loads of pornography.
Yeah. He said it was for research.
Research, yeah. What kind of research? I do not know.
Exactly, yeah.
That this is the thing. This is, and it's sort of now. What's happening today is what they're trying to do is make abnormal behaviour look normal and normal behaviour look abnormal. Go up to the 1960s. You look at anywhere. Most of the songs are about love and romance.
Yeah.
How many are like that today? And what is happening is the New World Order, if you want to call it that. Look at this graph. We got to here in about, that's right, you have to do this back to front on here, don't you, on the screen. We got to about here with sensitivity and understanding and compassion.
Yeah.
And they have brought us back.
Yeah, back down to that.
Right down to there. So where the majority of people had love and compassion and was looking for a partner, things like that, we've now gone back to a very, very primitive where people don't give a shit. They're sort of, oh, well, I'm happy for myself. As long as I'm happy, I couldn't care less. Yeah. And of course, when you think about it, when you have a series of partners, if one of them falls ill, you've got no responsibility for that person because you only used them for one thing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
There's no responsibility. It's just self and things like that. And I mean, I'm not criticising. There's always been a percentage of people that are like that. But what I'm getting at, if that suits a person and it's amongst consenting adults, I don't have a problem at all, none at all. I don't criticise. People might criticise my lifestyle. But if someone wants to walk along with their finger up their arse, providing it doesn't bother you, it doesn't upset your neighbour's dog or something, that's fine for them. They might want to do it. That's exciting. They might want someone that likes walking around with it, scratching their head like this. Fine. I ain't got a problem with it. I'm not criticising. We're all different, and I'm not being puritanical or anything like that. Because you'll find now loads of people, I can guarantee it will stand and say, "Oh, I'm very sensitive. I'm very hypersensitive, but I'm like that up that end." I can guarantee you're going to find that, but they're not. They can't be hypersensitive. They've got to be. And I say, what has happened with this peace and love is bullshit. It's not peace and love because they brought us back, the hippie movement and that, because people, it was kind of a myth, this all peace and love. Very, very nice, but it was an agenda to bring us back to the cave mentality. And that's basically it. And when you think that Kinsey's research is still being used, there we go. So there's my little lecture for tonight.
Yes.
And it's surprising how things lead. Isn't that funny how that photocopy fell out of that book today?
Yeah, it is.
Years.
Quite relevant, that.
Yeah. It's one of my colouring books as well. So it's pretty good. Noddy in, was it Biggles has a very strange relationship with his aeroplane. Yes. But see what they say in chat about this, and we can actually go onwards. They might want to talk about OMS, or they want to talk about the fake movement, because you look at MPs, look at the amount of MPs that have affairs and things like that, and they're married. Not quite. I'll give you an example. Look at Dennis Healy in his book. They had an open relationship, and his wife went wherever, and he went with whoever.
Yeah.
George Melly was exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you look at their sensitivity, they're not very sensitive people.
No.
They're very unsensitive people.
Yeah. Therefore, they don't form a connection.
No, they don't form a connection at all. So they're just sort of, So there we are. So
I've started some comments.
Oh, brilliant! So, right, Kath holds, was sadly the New Age was infiltrated by our biggest foe, the UN. Robert Mueller, I've never heard of him. Check him out for any involved. Well, I know that I've got to be careful what I say now, but there has been a plot by. Now, how can I put this? I've got to be very careful what I say. There's a certain group of people, and I'm not against all that group of people. There's very nice people in it, but shall we say the higher echelons of this group of people that we're not allowed to criticise?
Yeah.
That what they do, and I'm talking about the higher echelons. I'm not talking about the ordinary ones, because the ordinary ones know what's going on. I'm just talking about the higher echelons of the people we're not allowed to criticise. The Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes,
that's right. Now, for example, Berlin was a cesspit of filth in the 1920s and 30s, early 30s. And Mr. H, the Austrian painter and decorator, extraordinaire, with the moustache, who is our Charlie Chaplin impersonator as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. He sent the bloke with the club foot, who I can never remember his name, Goebbels, into Berlin and sort it out. Now, you could go to Berlin and there's the most filthiest filth you could ever wish to think of. You name it, you could get it very cheaply and have it. It was paedophilia, there was bestiality, you name it, it was there. You'd have to wash your hands after walking down the street. That's how bad it was. Yeah. And if you look at the film Cabaret, that's a corrupted version of what was really going on there.
Right.
It's a cleansed version. Cabaret's fantasy, really. And Goebbels had to be really ruthless. I don't know what actual year in the 30s it was, but it must have been about 34, 35 this happened.
Right.
And he cleaned the place up so that ladies could walk down the street quite safe. There was no prostitutes on the streets and things like that. And they all went to Hollywood, where they were all welcomed with open arms. And that's where the pornography industry started. So pornography, like that. And also they went to Sweden, which in the 1960s was the centre of pornography. Before they went to New York. So this is all adding up to a picture of where we're being conditioned by this small group of people who are a belief that we're not allowed to criticise, along with a lot of other beliefs like Christians and Catholics and Muslims and that, who are sort of fake ones.
Yeah.
So I think I'm being fair there. So there we go. Now, this is interesting. Council of Nice Ears. Do you want to read it, Deb?
Magnus Hirschfeld, responsible for that era in Germany.
Interesting.
I'm assuming what you've just been talking about.
Yes.
I have started some more questions. Well, not questions, comments. Louise is just saying that metal clip will be worth a bit at the scrappy.
Yes, it will, won't it? But the price is just I'm going to make a reduction for it. £5,000. Here we are.
That's bargain at half the price.
The Dalai Lama actually touched this and picked his nose with it. So there we go. So you got a bit of the old Dalai Lama DNA on there. So
I think she was on about the clip on your clipboard.
Oh, the clip on my clipboard. Oh yeah, that'd be worth something.
Yeah, at the scrappy. Where that is. Right. Yorkshire Rose is saying, sound frequency is very important. Some people believe the long-headed peoples like the Paracas, skulls found in Peru, were people who could produce different frequencies because of skull shape. I didn't know that.
Very interesting. Well, did you know that the pyramids, there's a lot of I've got a film on this actually, and it's a film that's shown in Australia but never shown in Europe for some unknown reason. So I've got it on the old-fashioned. I've got it on CD.
Two reels.
That's right. Yes. It's a bit like, was it pornography? I mean, I got my granddad's pornograph out. I could see nothing in it. It's just some old bloke singing. Do
Yeah,
you reckon I need to sharpen the needle? That's my problem. You see, I'm
that
not
could
getting
be
any
it.
pleasure from
The
it.
needle's not
That's it.
sharp enough.
Blunt needle. That's the problem with a pornograph.
Yeah.
Now, now what I was going to say is there's never been bodies found in the pyramids, and they
No.
said that tomb robbers. Well, why would you want to nick a stiff? I mean, let's face it. I mean,
Apparently, it's to do with there weren't burial chambers allegedly.
correct.
There were like water, like wells, reservoir type places.
Well, I've heard that they were healing centres
Yeah,
because if you go in there, it creates a certain resonance.
yeah.
Hang on, what's this? Also available as documentary clips on YouTube.
Right. So you can get
Oh,
bits of your whatever it is that you need your needle sharpening for.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say, no, it's big granddad's pornograph. You know, you wind it up the corner, and it's got a big ear trumpet on it. You know,
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Is there a Jack Russell sat in it with a patch on his eye?
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
No, yeah.
His master's voice. So I thought that must be very pornographic. His master's voice. You know, it's macho sadism, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just some bloke singing. Weird it was, isn't it?
Oh,
But no, they're supposed to be healing
Cass
centres.
made a comment. Bioresonance is well worth looking at. Resets the parts of you that are suffering or causing bad symptoms. I've heard of that before.
Deb, that's fantastic. Thanks, Deb. Also, it can reset the way you think as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
there was a chap on YouTube was talking. Sorry, we've gone from the pyramids to what's that? Something perception, where you can send a message.
Oh, like telepathy, ESP.
ESP, that's the word.
ESP.
Thanks, Deb. And he said that the most amazing thing he wanted. It was his birthday. I think it was Bob Proctor or something. He wanted him to phone him, and him and his wife were sitting in a car, and they was playing something that this lecturer, this chap they wanted to phone, and they was thinking hard about this chap phoning them, and within 3 minutes he phoned. And have you ever had that? You pick up the phone, and you say, "I was just thinking about you."
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing, and I've found that a lot. And I'll tell you something else. You think of somebody you haven't seen for a long time and put that in the back of your mind, you'll bump into them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that loads of times, yeah.
Yeah. But that happened the other week. Do you remember I woke up in the morning and somebody I hadn't seen for a long time flashed through my mind, and I saw them that afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But this healing, I mean, the long barrows, you know, these long barrows, some of them were burial chambers, but the ones in Ireland, if you get an oscilloscope, which measures sound frequencies and things, and take it into the long barrows, you will find the resonance in there will match what's on the walls.
Yeah.
And a sound engineer found that in the 60s when he went in there. So it's quite interesting. The more you look into it, the more you realise that, again, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Have we got any more in chat here?
I've starred some more in the comments.
Here we go.
There we are.
One with the ancient ruby whilst you're looking through says perhaps the word is similar to for I go around all day saying it to remember things.
I do as well.
I got it.
Yeah, I do it a lot.
Pong, haven't you? Pong, pong.
Yeah, that's after a toilet trip.
That's right.
Usually following somebody else.
Cabbages.
Yeah.
I tried that healing frequency at home through a channel on YouTube, and my cat loves it. That's good.
To try it out on Bob.
Just had the cat sitting there cross-legged. It made me feel a lot better also. It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does. You're right.
Yeah. That's interesting, Yorkshire Rose. Well, I should say good afternoon because you're in Canada. So, You know. Oh, by the way, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody around the world.
Yes. It may be evening here, but it's morning somewhere else.
That's right. Now,
Sean Hamer says pure awareness is a sense that is hidden by the immediacy and the seeming realness of the other bodily senses.
That's right.
That's quite true, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite interesting. This sort of, and also that we've got resonance going around us. It's there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's altering those resonance into the energy that you want. And you attract what you want by putting out that energy. You know, I mean, if you wake up in the morning saying I'm going to have a crap day, you're not going to have a crap day.
Of course you are, yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Positive thoughts bring positive actions, don't they? Positive actions bring anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, yes. But by the way, have you said anything, Deb? I can't remember because I've got a memory like a goldfish. Did you mention anything about the television thing that you was on?
Just briefly at the beginning. I haven't actually gone into it, but
yeah, yes, I don't think you're allowed to, are you? Before are you allowed to?
I can't mention a lot about it, but we did the filming yesterday outside on the outskirts of Manchester in a little studio. All very professional. We all had an amount of time to discuss all the things that were on the paperwork that we were given, and we all did our bit. We got fed a takeaway. We got buns and donuts, plenty of coffee and tea.
Right.
So it should be coming out on Amazon Prime in spring, and it's a series about the paranormal, but it's sort of moving away from the usual stuff, ghosts. So yes.
And do you know what we're going to talk about possibly next week with our paranormal? Because we're going to have a paranormal next week, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I don't know.
Have a parrot that's normal.
I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Because it's getting close to Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah. It's our Halloween special on Friday. No, not this Friday.
Really?
Is it this Friday? Yes, it is this Friday, yeah.
What, Halloween?
No, Halloween's on Sunday, I think, but we're having Code of the Unknown's Halloween special is on Friday.
And Monday will be absolutely perfect timing.
Yeah.
So we have Ghosts and People's Ghoulies on
Ghosts
Monday.
And Ghoulies.
So, yes, we've got our Ghoulies on Monday. So if you want to see Ghoulies, we'll be on Ghosts and Ghoulies, of course. Yes. And
hang on, Mike's saying Monday. Halloween's Monday.
Oh, it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll do nicely.
Yes. And I actually I do a chant to the children that come to my doors. And it's a double word chant. The last one is off. I hate this chicken treat.
I've bought a box of sweets like I normally do, like a tub of sweets, but I'll end up eating them all.
Yeah.
I pick the nice ones out anyway, and just I don't like the lollies, so they get the lollies.
Yeah, but at least penny for the guy. He got some money for it. He didn't get bleeding sweet and toothache, did you? I mean, I think trick and treat is actually put out by dentists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You two all sweets. Trick and treat.
How many kids after trick and treat go to the dentist go, oh, bleeding jaw, you know?
Yeah. Now, I've got another couple of comments, both from Dark Angel. Well, then let's build an army to form a resistance, Chris.
Good point, but the big problem is what we've got is the elite or our enemy. They discuss things behind closed doors, and we don't know what they're doing. We have to broadcast to everybody what we're going to do, and it's it's more like giving an enemy a 3-week sort of chance that you're going to invade them.
Yeah.
Because you're going to tell them what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that someone had is that we all stand outside number 10 and demand we go in there and arrest them. And the first wave of people will get arrested. Then a second wave come along, they'll get arrested. A third wave will come along, they'll get arrested. Then eventually the police will be so overwhelmed, the masses, they won't be able to arrest anymore because there'll be nowhere to put them. And and they will then hopefully negotiate. And we say, right, we're going to be peaceful, going to be full of love and niceness, but we want to get these bastards out. But there is, I believe, a secret tunnel. There must be underneath where they can escape.
Do you
I'm sure
reckon?
they can. Yeah, I'm positive. Because they wouldn't be trapped in, I don't think. Because
No,
did you
definitely.
know that you look outside American embassies? Did you know that they're designed in a certain way?
Yeah.
There's loads of concrete bollards, and that's to stop tanks going through the main door, the
Right.
American embassy. And also, because I knew the architect that worked on the American embassy in London,
Right.
and he told me this. And he said also they have a tree growing up, and when they hack the tree down, that's a secret signal to say that the helicopters are going to come in and rescue the staff. And that's what
Right.
they did in Saigon in 1973, was it?
Right.
They had a tree, they hacked it down, quickly sawed it down, and that was a signal that the helicopters were coming in, and they're going to, because they rescued the people off the roof of the building,
Yeah.
and the roof of the building is a helipad. They got it all worked out.
Oh
So
yeah.
if this country, if we took over, the Yanks would be out like a dirty shirt.
No,
This is
yeah.
interesting. Tunnels are everywhere, with many under churches.
We've got down the road from us. It's less than
Yeah.
it's about a mile. We've got Kirkstall Abbey, and obviously it was destroyed with the dissolution of the monasteries by Henry VIII. And it's quite a big ruins, actually. It's quite intact. But apparently there's a tunnel that runs from there, the underneath of there, right through to City Varieties Theatre in Leeds.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Good heavens.
A lot of it,
Well,
obviously, you can't get through it now because
hmm,
I once did a ghost hunt at a pub which is directly in the path of this, and there was 2 tunnel entrances that had been bricked up. So it obviously went through the cellar of their pub. And he'd taken a couple of bricks out, but it was really dark and horrible in there. And he said he didn't want to take any more out and go have a look, so he never bothered. But yeah.
well, there's something interesting here because many years ago there was, I think it was Channel 4. This is when I had a telly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, Deb, I can't watch the television now.
I'm not good with the television, no.
No. You get a bullshit overload, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I did tonight because it was an extended news and I was subjected
Really?
to it.
What's happened?
We've got another Prime Minister.
Really? Who is he?
Richie Sunak. Now.
Oh, bloody hell.
So I can't cope with it.
Well, it doesn't really matter because they don't really rule. It's the people like Schwartz and those people that rule and the Rothschilds. It doesn't really matter who's in. I actually think that Noddy should go in there.
Yeah, I do.
Lassie, be President of the United States.
Outside.
Yeah. That'd be interesting at the address, wouldn't it, when Lassie would come along? As long as he didn't see another dog, that would be fun, wouldn't it? As the president is just, oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I think Lassie was a female and they made out it was a male, didn't they? I think they did.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. President, are you a bisexual, transsexual, whatever,
Oh, Aunt Sally's made a comment. I need to pop that up before I pop this last one up from.
Okay.
So Aunt Sally's saying, watch Paul Cook here on YouTube. He has done extensive videos on underground tunnels here and across the world, and they all have much in common. I might have to be looking at that.
I will, Aunt Sally, as soon as we get, it's going to be a bit late tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to have a shufty at that because there was a documentary on Channel 4 years ago where there was I think it was an architect. He had bad legs. He could hardly walk. Nice bloke. And he was doing this documentary about Great Britain, even though I disagree with what he was saying about modern architecture. That's life. I thought he was talking a load of crap, but anyway, but I don't mean that in an assertive sense. We've all got our own viewpoints, but he did, apart from the load of crap he was talking about modern architecture, he did a very interesting thing in architecture. And he said that we're never more than 19 miles away from a tunnel in this country.
Yeah. On
this documentary. And the thing about it, 19 miles is not that far, is it?
No, not that far at all. Well,
now Ralph Winter said the prime monster or mincer, Larry the cat should have gotten a job.
Exactly.
What about Bob?
Oh yeah, no, he sleeps too much.
Well, that's perfect, isn't it? I mean, he won't want to
sleep. I would like to nominate though, if I can find him. No, I don't know where he is. Yeah. Oh, pictures. He's in the pictures, isn't he?
You're not talking about
I am
Roger.
Talking about Roger.
Roger.
There he is.
Okay, this is new Prime Minister. Here he is. Roger
the cat.
Ring the cat. Here he is, Mr. Ring. Perfect, isn't he? Roger Ring the cat. So
he's got that very serious look.
yes. That's perfect. Yes, absolutely excellent. Roger Ring the cat.
I love him.
I love him as well. And
he's got
all
a
the world leaders.
Face.
That's right. And you think Joe Biden, all the world leaders like Roger Ring the cat?
Yeah.
So
it got on a treat.
That's right. Yes. So nothing like Roger Ring the cat. Do you realise? I think that this Richie Sunak, I can't even pronounce his name, will be the first Prime Minister, Prime Minister, that is not of a European religion.
Yes. Hindu.
Because yes, and the first was Disraeli, was of a certain religion we're not allowed to criticise, but his father converted, so he came in as a Christian. But that is actually, did you know it's against our constitution? Because everyone that goes into Parliament has got to be born in this country and prove their parents and grandparents are born in this country. It's like in the United States, the president has got to be born in this country. That's why Arnie couldn't become Prime Minister. And that's right. Governor and Obama, a snowflake, actually sponsored his birth certificate, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or Tipex, sorry, not snowflake, Tipex, I think, did it. Yeah. You know, because he was born in a place that didn't exist. Perhaps he was from a different dimension.
He could have been. Time travelling.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Any more, Deb?
Let me be looking here. Yes, I've got one from Dark Angel. What's your answer for today, Chris? That a dictatorship is preferable to the issues that come with democracy? Controversial?
Very controversial. Well, when you think about it, the objective of this capitalism of free enterprise, and the objective of capitalism is communism, because you stuff out all the opposition and then you have the workers exactly where you want them, and you've got communism.
Yeah.
Because all communist states are run by a handful of industrialists and rich families.
Yeah.
This is what we've got now. So, and also totalitarianism never lasts. It always folds in on itself. Look at the ones in the 20th century. They all folded in on themselves. Mao's China, Stalin and people like. So I hope I've sort of answered the question, haven't I?
I don't know.
Now, this is an interesting one by Louise. Did we read this one out?
Oh, yeah, I saw that earlier. I meant to start that and it whizzed up, disappeared.
A guy I listened to on YouTube, he predicted in the 80s that folk would pass away with heart attacks due to shock of disclosure and the yes. And that she's gone on to say he predicted it for 2022. Well, it's interesting.
I've just seen a very interesting. Keep having to scroll up. Right. Sue's saying in Blackpool there are lots of tunnels from the tower to the Winter Gardens. And then I see one that says from Yorkshire Rose, apparently you can get from one side of the US to the other through tunnels and underground bases. And Louise has added, and the maglev trains, which are electric, magnetic trains, levitating.
Well, there's a theory, and I don't know how true it is, and there's a rumour, shall we say, that there's a tunnel that goes from number 10 to Lambeth Palace.
Yeah, that won't surprise me.
Now, I don't know how to. I've heard this mentioned. I haven't got any black and white evidence to show you.
No.
Anybody knows anything more has got black and white evidence, but I would have thought you wouldn't have number 10 without an escape tunnel. I know that there's actually a tube stopping place underneath Buckingham Palace. So if they had to escape, because I know that also, the horse cars parade.
Yeah.
Up to the palace, every building either side has not got a direct sight line onto the Horse Guards Parade, so you couldn't get a sniper up there.
Right, yeah.
But our buildings are quite a far away. But a sniper with a telescopic rifle could,
Yeah.
and they can't do it. But there was a theory that Euston Road had an aircraft with wings folded up, a short takeoff and landing aircraft, to get the people from Buckingham Palace out of the country. But I think that is the shit of the bull.
Yes.
Bullshit. I don't
Well,
think it.
Shit us.
Because I have said before, I've seen a map that I shouldn't have seen because I didn't sign the Official Secrets Act.
Yes.
And there is a tube that goes underneath Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
And of course, there was secret tunnels, which I now known about, that Eisenhower had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What is it? That's at Warren Street, isn't it? It goes, and I'm not sure, I think they could get through to number 10. Not sure, but I think they could.
Yeah.
So it's all a labyrinth of tunnels. There are. Do you want to read this one out?
Ancient Ruby's saying there are many, many tunnels under Buckingham Palace that go a long way. Yeah, I can believe that as well.
Well, there's one that if you're in Hertfordshire or Essex, it might. But I'm afraid that's the foreign land to you, Deb, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have a passport to go there.
Passport, yeah.
I had to have a passport yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. I crossed over from Yorkshire to Lancashire.
Bloody Nora! Did you get any repellent spray on you?
I got stopped at a checkpoint, but because I looked so glamorous as a TV star, I just got waved through.
Excellent. And did you catch anything there? I mean, Lancashire.
No. I made sure I didn't hug anybody or shake hands.
Very good. Yeah. Yes, you've got to disinfect yourself after coming back.
It weren't that bad, actually.
Now, if you go to Royston is built on chalk.
Yes, it is.
And because it's a very strange place. You go to Hertfordshire and you've got this undulating hills and that. And you get to Royston and you've got this sort of great, I wouldn't say cliff, but it's all white chalk around there. And then you go to the Fen district. It's all flat and
nothing there.
I hate it there.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Did you find it depressing?
Yeah, I did, but Lincolnshire's just as bad because that's flat too.
But there's something about Cambridgeshire, I don't know, it gives me the creeps. Anyway, but my sister lived in Royston, so not many people know that. So, and she used to look out and see UFOs.
Right.
And she see loads of them.
Yeah.
So, it's that is a hot spot for UFOs, apparently. Yes. Royston. Anyway, I've been to the.
Just hang on a minute. I just need to put this comment up. Dan Max saying cookies and knacker. I had to explain about geopolymer to him. Then all of a sudden he's doing geopolymer vids. Oh, okay.
Ah.
I don't know much about geopolymer. I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
That's interesting.
Oh,
but no, I was going to say, the Royston hole, they don't quite know why it was dug there. I've been down there, and you can get about half a dozen people in there.
In where?
It's a sort of hole. It's weird, it is.
Where?
It's privately owned, I think. It's in Royston, in Hertfordshire. Right. And Royston is actually on several borders. It's on Cambridgeshire border, Essex border.
Hertfordshire, is it? Is it Hertfordshire?
Yeah, it's in Hertfordshire, just. The borderline is just past. And it was a crossroads for Romans.
Ah.
And the Romans used to bury their dead at crossroads. And my sister reckoned her house was haunted, but I think it was her husband that was bleeding haunting it.
Yeah.
Because it was so creepy. But no, she said a cupboard opened itself one night and all the contents threw itself on the floor. I think that's piling the laundry up too high, actually. I'm not sure it's spiritual.
Yes.
Came off the shelves, apparently. And they kept seeing weird things and whatever, But again, it's probably her husband. But no, they reckon that there was a tunnel going, because it was chalk, it's easy to dig, that went from there to Harlow. And there was a piano teacher that my sister used to have years ago who lived in Royston. And she said she used to walk through the tunnel to Harlow.
Right.
And all the locals knew about it years ago. I mean, this woman, bloody hell, she'd be about 120, 130 by now. She's getting on a bit then. So, don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
Very strange.
Yes, yes. But
Paul Green's saying Manchester is riddled with tunnels, virtually a small town under Victoria Station. I can believe that as well. Oops. Oh,
so
now we were talking about this yesterday. Tunnels running from Scotland to Turkey. There's somewhere to Portugal and another one. Can't remember where the other one was, but there's a tunnel network that runs straight through. And this one, the Scotland to Turkey one, I think, is the one that's just been discovered.
Really? Built in modern times?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Because you've got to get all the spoil out of the way, haven't you? But well, you can actually. Some people have gone down there. There was a Channel tunnel that was dug about 1890s, I think, or 1880s. And it went about 12 miles, about halfway there.
Yeah.
And they ran out of money.
Yeah.
And they stored ammunition underneath there in the First World War. So, you know,
there's a lot of secret stuff.
Oh, crumbs! Yes. Well, look at the what's it? The Woolwich Tunnel. The Woolwich Tunnel. I've actually once upon a time, so my dad told me, when you drove through there, you saw water running down the sides of the.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case, but apparently you could. And he said that in the First World War, his parents told him that they stored ammunition down there as well.
Yeah. I've been through tunnels under rivers. What's the Liverpool one that runs under the Mersey? Anyway, I remember seeing water because it's kind of tiled at some parts, and I remember seeing water running through there.
I think it probably still is. It's all sort of. Well, I know that a Channel tunnel, I was told by one of the people who worked on it, one of the designers, he said that there are pumps going continuously to empty the water out of it.
Yeah.
If they stopped, it would fill up.
But if you think of the weight of water per cubic foot or whatever it is, that's a hell of a lot of weight.
That's right. And I think it's chalk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is pushing. Yeah.
Yeah. And chalk's porous.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm wondering, though, whether the theory that there's dynamite underneath there, so if there's a war, they'd blow it, is true.
No, I don't
I doubt it. I know Switzerland, every bridge and tunnel that goes into Switzerland is dynamited.
Right.
That's true. That's 100% true. So if Switzerland was invaded, they'd blow them, so the enemy could not get through. They're armed to the teeth, Switzerland, for a small country. They're neurotic.
Right. Yeah. Yorkshire Roses said, anyone been to Malta? The whole island has tunnels under it, which they closed to the public after a group of school children went missing there. They are of ancient origin. And it's like the Paris catacombs, isn't it? I mean, they call them catacombs, but it's just a tunnel system. And I think
skeletons underneath there, weren't there?
Gone missing in there.
Really? There's all skeletons in there. Is that the one where they got all the skeletons along there?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably all the people that went missing.
Well, that's right. Yeah. We got the Cheddar Caves.
Yeah, Cheddar Gorge.
Cheddar Gorge. I went there when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. And there's some bloke telling us about stalagmites and stalactites and
yeah,
might like that. Right.
That's the only thing I remember.
And to tell you something else, there's a thing going around on YouTube which is completely bullshit. Okay.
Right.
There's a Russian that says that the Stonehenge didn't exist and it was built in the 50s. That is the biggest bullshit ever for two reasons. Yeah. It's actually people painted it hundreds of years ago. Number one. Number two, what they did in the 1950s is there's stones all over the place. They actually rebuilt it. They put it actually, they lifted the stones up and when I went there, when I was I was only a little nipper, they had an exhibition of it, and it's all out in the open air of how they did it, showing people in 1950s outfits going, "Hey, look at this, lifting stones up." So that is the shit of the ball. Because this Russian who came up with it has never even been there, so soppy sod, So there it is. Yeah. That's interesting I think if there was an uprising in this country and we did stand outside number 10, we'd never get the occupants in there. They'd leg it.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know.
Tricky Dicky. The railway tunnel and coastal channel between England and Wales has pumps permanently on, apparently. A number of springs down there. Well, yeah, you can't stop a spring, can you?
No.
It's continually bubbling up.
And I know a person, my neighbour's daughter, who's got a house which is Grade 2 listed, and it does. She's got a spring that sometimes leaks her cellar, comes into her cellar.
We had one.
And it does the opposite. When you've had a drought, when it's dry in July, the spring comes on. But it can rain and rain and rain and rain, and it's as dry as a bone down there.
Yep, ours did exactly the same. We blocked it off from coming up. It didn't affect the flow of it, but we blocked it off from coming up because it just
we don't know where it comes from. I mean, it was tanked, the cellar, but they didn't do a very good job of it. And what she's looking at now is pumps that will come. Hello, gone off again. Here it comes. Whee! Emma, back again. Does it every bloody week, doesn't it?
I don't know why.
Do you reckon this is haunted?
Probably,
it's creepy, isn't it? I mean, I'm sitting, I'm doing nothing.
I think your spirits are saying, right, Chris, come on, we want to go to bed now. Off you go.
We're only on 1 hour, 11 minutes into it, though, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Probably people are getting pissed off already, you know. Right, if people don't like, we'll have the puppets back next week, all right?
Yeah, we will. Threaten you with the sock puppets.
Yeah.
Anyway, another comment from Ancient Ruby. They are again slowly changing history for the next generation of lies. I agree with that.
That's right.
And she's also saying, did you know that the royals and government have their own underground good food supermarkets? That wouldn't surprise me.
Right. I know for a fact, because I worked with a bloke whose father worked on Churchill Bunker.
Right, yeah.
In the 1930s. And he disappeared for several weeks because he worked for the ministry. And he said, this is what this chap said. He said, if you go into a supermarket, you'll see meat being sold very, very cheaply that's got loads of ice on it.
Yeah.
And he said that comes from these underground storage areas because they refresh it every now and then. And he said there's racks, his father told him there's racks and racks and racks and racks of meat there that is deep frozen. And they're just, what they do, they just keep refreshing it and they sell it off to the supermarkets cheap.
Right.
So you might be eating meat that's about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it does say on some meat that you can't refreeze it, and you're like, well, why has it been frozen originally? Now that makes sense.
Yeah. Have you seen it? Have you seen these
when you
chunks?
buy fresh meat, you can freeze it.
Yeah. Because I tell you, the worst for freezing is pork. Pork actually is horrendous for freezing. Bacon, never put that in the freezer unless it's really sealed with those sealer bags.
I do bacon because I buy it in big packs from Costco and then split it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it go all? Yes, right.
Yeah.
But does it get all ice crystals on it?
No.
Oh, you're right there then. Yeah. No, mine does. Yes. But by the way, do not buy.
Christopher.
Sorry?
We haven't had an advert.
We need an advert, so let's go for the ads, shall we?
Now then, which shall I try now? I can't remember what we've had and what we haven't had, to be honest.
Oh, I'd shove an advert on just for a laugh.
I'll just shove one on. Let's find her. There we go. Oh. Hey, bargain hunters. Don't forget to call into your local Fock and Fresh stores this week, where you'll find lots of tasty discounts. Wondering what to do for tea? Why not have a truly authentic Oriental night? Start off with some sticks and dips, and then dive into these shrimp flavour cracks. Yummy. Head to our Fresher Than Rotten food counter and grab yourself a pound of these. You can add them to a tasty soup, only minutes to prepare. Wash that down with our exclusive terra squash, and what a feast you've had, and all at a scrumptious price too. So come on down, grab a trolley and head in for a taste sensation you won't find anywhere else. I'm sorry to announce that our trolley collector Pete is off this week with the screaming abdabs. All of us here at Fock and Fresh Stores wish you a speedy recovery. The speedier the better if you don't mind, mate, because those trolleys don't collect themselves and it's not our job. But anyway, get well soon. Stock and fresh stores. Produce you can't trust.
All 100% hygiene free, isn't it? Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
We do not wash the hands after coming out of the toilet.
No.
Definitely hygiene free.
Straight back to the deli counter and we're on it again.
They got a cafe as well, haven't they?
Yes.
Are you constipated? Go to Fockham Cafe. That's just next door. You won't be after that.
We have got a cafe advert. I think we haven't played this for a bit.
That's
so
right.
We'll have this one as well.
Warning. The following advert may or may not contain references to food items and cigarettes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey up, lads and lasses. Do you like to fur up your arteries on a regular basis? Are you bored with same old cuisine? Well, look no further than Blair's Cottage Cafe on High Street. Tony's faggots are bloody award-winning. They're always freshen up menu daily. Our big Tone loves a good faggot washed down with a big smug of tea. His Mrs. Cherry's a right good pie maker too. She's too horrific to be seen behind counter, but you'll be sure to hear her knocking one out in kitchen. Remember to shout out when she yells from back, "How many slices of custard wheat pie?" Try out Smoker's Corner too, where there's a proper cracking selection of fags hanging about, ready for discerning customer. You'll be assured of a warm hand on your entrance at Blair's Cottage Cafe. Not sure how long I'm going to get away with that.
That's a cracker, that is. But you can actually have was it shrimp cracks or something with there, can't you?
Yeah, shrimp cracks. I don't even want to know what that's about.
Someone went in there and said, I'd like a runny egg and I want fingerprints all the way around the side of my plate, please. They said, we don't sell food like that. He said, we did yesterday. Anyway.
I've heard that before.
I got to think about eggs. I don't like runny eggs. And when you go out, if it's a runny egg, you've got to be a bit careful because you might get the trots.
No. The white, I don't like the white runny. The white's got to be solid, but I like the yolk runny.
I do like the yolk runny.
Splashed across. I can't be having like gel. No. I can't be doing with raw egg white. No. Do you know what? In fact, this is going on to this natural health thing, but I don't know if it is healthy, but when I was a kid, if I didn't feel very well, my granny used to make me a glass of milk with an egg beaten into it and some sugar.
I had exactly the same from my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was a raw egg, wasn't it?
Yep. Beaten in.
Raw
so
egg.
it was like, creamy coloured, like a bit of a
Did you have a Horlick thing that I've never seen one before, and they must have had it from the 30s or 40s, I don't know.
Oh, we had one of those.
And they go, and it was raw egg, sugar, milk, something else in it as well. I can't remember what else.
That's all I got. Egg, milk, and sugar.
I think it was. But I never forget the taste of it. I mean, I'm still here, so it couldn't have given me gut.
It tastes too bad to me.
It tastes bleeding nice, I thought. That was an old-fashioned remedy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get Miles on the show.
Yes.
He wants to do once a month. He wants to come on. And he wants to do one at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No. Who's going to be watching at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Me, you and Miles.
Nobody. 8 o'clock or no?
Yes.
But we want to do a live audience one from his shop. You get 10 people, 12 people in there. And I thought it'd be nice to have you and I on there. We have a chat room and the shop. But he said yes at 4 o'clock, and I said no at 8 o'clock.
Yes, 8 please. There we go.
Or 7. Oh.
Aunt Sally says I had a long appointment with Miles today, Chris.
That must have been fun with you.
Yeah.
That's his now, Aunt Sally, you must have had today's a special day that he's always worn out.
On a Monday.
That's where you test your food intolerance or something.
Right.
Because I'm actually inland revenue intolerant.
Yeah, I think we all are.
You see, I'm very much intolerant of them, and also mainstream media intolerant as well.
Yeah, that gives me the runs.
That gives me the runs as well. Now, somebody in chat wanted to know about that book
Oh,
from civilization to savagery.
Yeah, because V said he wanted to read it, but you said it's out of print now, and it's banned or
Well,
out of print or
how
whatever.
I got it from a mate of mine called Andy, where I worked, and that was in the 1990s. Okay, and it was printed in 1967 by Peter Newbold, and it was an underground press.
Right.
So to get it is probably as rare as hen's teeth now. I've looked, you can't find it, but I couldn't keep it because he lent it to me.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, because what he said, we're breeding a generation where the family will be a thing of the past.
Mm.
And he said that in 1967.
Yeah.
And all what he said on there has actually coming true.
Yeah.
And that chart, we're going back to a primitive thought. And you think about it, who is behind it? Look what the agenda that's being pushed as this elite of nasty people that are pushing this. Because let's face it, if we was all full of really new age, which is love and peace, you wouldn't have free love. You would have proper love.
Yes.
Whereas going around with partner to partner is not free love because there's no emotion to it.
No, that's it. It's just,
So that's what they were pushing. So when you look at all these hippie festivals in the 60s, I bet you I'm going to get a hell of a lot of complaints from what I'm saying. But it was in this book.
Yeah.
What he's saying is that they're going away from where we've got this from the savagery. We come to civilization where we respect each other and things like that. I mean, going back. That's right. Look at the amount of rapes numbers that's gone up. Yeah. Look at the way things are going backwards, not forwards. And people say, another one he said in the book. I remember this, but I didn't photocopy it. Right. He said that saying that's what they do now will be very popular. So you think of anything outrageous, people just say that's what they do now and accept it.
Yeah.
So it's like if you walk along with your finger in your ear, they're all doing that now. That's what they all do now.
Yeah.
That's right. The protocols of the elders of yes, 1907, but there's an earlier one, the 1840s, 50s, I think. Because they said there must have been, what is it? They said it's a fake.
Right.
I think it was a fake. And if it's a fake, there must have been an original.
Right, yeah.
Think about it.
Mm. Mm.
You know, if you said Yorkshire, I don't know, York is fake, there must have been an original York. For the New York should have. Yeah. So, yeah.
Mm.
But it's all in there.
Aunt Sally's saying that he tested her with an electrical circuit machine thingy, which showed vitamin and mineral deficiencies.
Oh, I've had that. Do you know the two
prongs?
The old two sort of handles.
Right.
I went in there all smug because I've been taking minerals and vitamins for a long time. So nothing wrong with my vitamins.
I'm fine.
And I was a bit nervous actually. I wondered what it involved. But it's painless. It's very nice. And you hold these things. You've got this machine. It's worth a lot of money.
Is it like copper handles or something, or some?
I can't remember. If Miles is looking in here, brilliant. Oi, get in chat, Miles. You hold these two handles, and he puts these different things into this machine, and he found out that most of the vitamins I was taking, I hasten to add, that were not from his shop.
No.
Was made of synthetic materials. So the vitamin C, you probably get more vitamin C from sniffing the packet, actually. It's just sort of synthetic. And I was just taking loads of bulking agents and shit.
Yeah, because it's mainly charged.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish. A couple of me said they're all right. So my plants are now, I've got synthetic shit, my flowers outside, because I just put them on the flower pot. They
won't do them any harm.
Yeah, it won't do them any harm. But I think one of them's died.
Yeah.
When are you going to get a book on the dinosaurs, Chris? This is Dark Angel. On the dinosaurs. We might get John Hamer back about dinosaurs, because if we did a show on dinosaurs, didn't we?
We did.
Did we do a show? Was you on it?
Well, it was part of a show. I don't think we did a full show about dinosaurs.
No, and he reckons they're fake. I think they are as well. Some are, not all.
Yeah, maybe some are, yeah, but not, yeah.
I think the biggie boys are, because they're made in a factory in China, the bones for them, apparently.
Yeah, no,
But
that's been proved, but maybe not
yeah.
for all of them. I don't know. I don't know what I'm. One of them, a
I'm
leg either side of the fence.
Well, I'm either side of the fence with flat Earth. I'll be straight with you. I'm open-minded on either side because both sides have very good arguments for it.
Yeah.
You've got
Right.
one here.
Aunt Sally says it wasn't copper, looked like stainless steel. I think I know what you mean now, which sort of machine, yeah. And Dan is saying cheap Vitz are graphene metal infused now, crush it and use a magnet.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll try that. That's interesting. Because did he tell you, Aunt Sally, that you've got a chromium deficiency? Because I was going to go around licking the bumpers of old cars from the 60s, you know. There's got plenty of chrome on there.
Well, we've got plenty of old cars from the 60s still knocking about.
So down here and all. But no, the old number, what do they call them? Hubcaps. They were chromium. And this is another new age thing about the bowls. Did I say that earlier? The way you tell the difference between a fake one and a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think they're made in a hubcap factory in China. The fake ones. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? You know. So right, have we got any more? Is that it?
I think that's it.
That's it.
It's a bit worrying that you could actually crush them and get them to stick to a magnet.
Well, I know that if you buy cheap supermarket vitamin C, it's not vitamin C. You've got to pay a lot of money to get proper vitamin C. And
let's face it, these days buying oranges don't have the correct amount of vitamin C in, do they, sir?
Well, that's what Miles was saying. I think it's 0.001% vitamin C.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know. But by the way, my apples are still on my tree. I haven't picked them yet. No. No, I haven't got a chromium deficiency. I need more omega vitamins because I've not been taking my Udos on. Udos. Keep forgetting it. Yes, I did as well. Did I tell you I took some Udos on and it didn't stay down very long?
Yeah, you did. That doesn't bode well, does it?
It's very good for you, but it's got a twang to it, which is sort of, what if you want to throw up? That's what.
Oh, I'm waiting for that. It's a bit slow popping up tonight. That one sounds good. Might have to give that a go.
Some cognac with your egg and milk goes down a treat.
I like that idea.
Actually, cognac's gone out of fashion, hasn't it? It used to be very fashionable. You don't hear of it now.
No.
I'll tell you the worst one is an eggnog that your auntie had at Christmas. Do you remember that? Eggnogs.
No, we didn't really have that because we had Advocar.
Advocar, yeah. No, we had
I've got a bottle of that left.
Yes. Tell you what I like, ouzo. And normally I have water, but I've got
Guinness. It's on the Irish.
I actually, well, it's good for you, but I really drink. I mean, I say I'm teetotal. I do occasionally, but that's all I'll have. I won't have any more. No, but seriously, that's all I'll have. And another one is a word of warning. I stopped drinking cider because I thought it had aspartame in it. And that's right. I mean, Snowball. That's it. Yeah, bloody horrible stuff.
No, you've got to put brandy in with your lemonade and your Advocar.
It's what grannies have, isn't it, and aunties. Yeah.
Yeah, and me. I love a Snowball. I don't think it's supposed to.
I'm sorry, you're not a granny.
I do.
Yes. How to insult people, number one. But no, actually, what was I talking about now? I can't remember what it was. I got off me.
Oh, you were on about aspartame in cider.
Yeah, thanks, Deb. Yeah, I stopped drinking it because it had aspartame or aspartame in it. I went round the supermarket the other day and it's not in it anymore. So Ron, who's
why they would put it in there? It's not. Cider doesn't need an artificial sweetener, does it?
No, they used to. And I was talking to Ron because that's his favourite drink as well. And he has a pint of cider. And he said, he said they stopped putting it in now. So I've looked on the supermarkets and they don't. They've got sugar in it. But I mean, Guinness is all right. I find it a little bit bitter. but I occasionally have one. It's very occasional. I'm really teetotal generally. You know, I don't drink that much, but
I
it's
binge about
just
once a
sometimes
year.
if I feel I'm lacking in iron, because
Yeah.
you know it's got plenty of iron in it. So
Yeah, as yeah.
Yeah.
Stout.
so you put the old thing. Yeah, if I'm a bit depressed as well. I'm not depressed, but
Yeah, fed up. I'll have a drink.
No, but it's all right. Yeah. Yeah, this
You
tastes
see,
like wee.
I'm
But
with
no,
lavender.
seriously.
I'm
Sorry.
with lavender there. When I was small, I loved a snowball. That was all I was allowed to have as a kid because it didn't get much advocate put in it.
No, no. Where did eggnog come from then? I'm sure it's eggnog.
America.
No?
But I once
Sorry?
looked the recipe. It's American. I once looked the recipe up for that. I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you don't boil it up, like boiling milk and whisk
Really?
eggs into it and alcohol, and I've forgotten now. It's that long.
What's that stuff they have in Austria? What's it called? You have it's wine, I think. They heat it up, and you have it on cold days.
Glühwein.
It's called Glühwein.
Glühwein. Well, that's not Austria.
When I was in my teens, I had a little bit too much Glühwein, and there was a pig roast. You see, I had this pig roast. So you imagine I got a bit of the old pork. I don't think it's cooked too well. See, so I had the Glühwein pig roast. Got back, and they have toilets with a shelf on it, don't they?
Yeah.
Over there, because it's like a shelf, and it goes. It's a very strange U-pin. Where our toilets, you look down the toilet. Yeah. They had toilets which you have like a shelf that you poo on, and the water flushes the poo off the shelf and away. You see, and I went into the loo feeling very sick and very bad, and somebody for me and hadn't flushed it, and they left, shall we say, a little surprise for me. So I goes over the toilet to throw up.
Lovely.
I mean, I was only about 17 at the time,
Ooh, that's awful.
No, it's funny. Alcohol has never bothered me. So it doesn't. I mean, very rarely do I have a drink, but I could take it or leave it. It's just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I did all my drinking
also
in the 80s, 90s.
Right?
I did all my drinking in the 80s and 90s. I think I wore myself out.
But I did sort of drink a bit when I was in teens, but everybody sort of, so I don't know, because my dad never drunk. I thought, well, so I don't really bother, Yeah. But the trouble is, when you don't have alcohol, it does affect you very quickly. Not so much when you're at home, not so much out of this. But no, seriously, if I had a pint, I would start to feel a bit giddy. Yeah. I think just a pint, and if I went over that, I'd feel a little bit more giddy. And if I went over that even more, I think I'll be flat on my back. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, shall we wind up for this evening?
Yes.
I think. What's this? Magic says, is that the book that after 2,000 years of believing the world hangs in tatters?
I think he's talking about the
Dark
Bible.
Angel.
Somebody mentioned the Bible earlier.
Yes. Well, with Christmas on the horizon, an anagram of Santa is Satan.
Satan, yeah. Funny that.
Yes. Anyway, we've had a good evening. Next week we're going to do a Halloween special.
Yes, paranormal.
So that's right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and remember to put the thumbs up,
the outro,
and subscribe.
Yes.
And the outro, and remember, see you same time, same place next week, and have a bloody good laugh.
Yes, because that's what life's all about.
And good night.
Good night, everybody.
That's right. Night.
Night.